Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. I've got a lot of Pro Treks for you. Okay, this is a review essentially of the new Casio PRW3000. Here's two different versions, and I have some other models I'd like to show you to compare the size. Why? Because what's unique about the PRW3000 is that Casio has been able to miniaturize a little bit more the sensor technology they use to make the Pro Trek models smaller, which is important because the Pro Trek models were very large for a long time. While they were great watches and comfortable and very light, a lot of people wanted them to be smaller, not only so that they could be more comfortable on more wrists, but so that they could be the type of watch that you wore on a more regular basis. Now, there's a few different versions of the PRW3000. I don't have them all, but this basically represents the two basic types. Now, so this is the PRW3000. I believe it's the 1A. It actually doesn't even say the specific model number on the back. It says PRW 3000 there, as you can see, and it's not going to say the 1A, but this is, I believe, the 1A. And what you have here is you have the basically the very high grade plastic strap, and you have the negative LCD display, and that negative LCD basically means when it looks black like that. This is the highest end model right now, and I actually don't know whether or not this model is sold in the US, and this is the PRW3000T, I believe, -7. You just still plastic there. Yeah, so the PRW3000T. So T, of course, stands for titanium, and it has a titanium strap. Now, the watch isn't small. It's 47 millimeters wide, but for a Pro Trek, it is small, and you can see that it wears a lot smaller. It's insanely comfortable. I mean, for this watch this size, it's light, it's comfortable. Casio has always done a good job with titanium bracelets, and it's attractive. And what's important about a model like this is it's the type of thing that you could really wear kind of all the time. And that was really the thing with Pro Trek. It was kind of like an outdoorsy watch, a hiking watch, it's a nerd watch, and that's great because this is among nerd watches fantastic, but you couldn't wear it really like out to dinner or something like that. So with the smaller size, you definitely have an upgrade in the versatility. Now I want to show you a comparison of an older model that I have. This is the PAW1500, okay? Now you can see the relative difference in size. Both of these have titanium bracelets, and both of them are Pro Treks. Actually, this one was back when it was a Pathfinder, and then what Casio did is they discontinued the Pathfinder name because I believe it was only being used in the US or maybe some other countries, and they basically made everything Pro Trek. So you can see that the cases are definitely different size. And so this one, which again is still a fantastic watch, wears in a much larger way, and it's something that someone may not want to wear all the time. So with the PRW3000, you definitely have a diminished case. Okay, you want to see it on the strap compared to something else? Okay, so here is the PRW3000, and here's also a PAW, but this is the PAW 2000. And again, you can see here the difference. Now again, it's not that one is essentially better than the other. There's features that this watch has that this one doesn't have, and vice versa. But what's really important is the fact that there's now a smaller option available for those who felt that the traditional Pro Treks, which were over 50 millimeters, are definitely something that they couldn't wear, and now you can wear it more. It's more versatile. I don't want to say this necessarily, but I believe that Casio took some inspiration from Suunto in the sense that the case is a lot more streamlined and simple, and has more of a grace to it. So I happen to like these a lot. I was really thrilled when I saw that the PRW3000 was announced back at Basel World 2013. Happy to get my hands on some, and I'm really going to wear these a lot because as you know, I'm a big fan of Casio Pro Trek and G-Shock models. Okay, so let's talk about functionality. In terms of functionality, there isn't anything inherently new or novel about these, because if you know about Pro Trek, then you know about the basic functionality and features it has, which is a lot. There's a lot, but I'll go through them in case you're not familiar. So first of all, this is the type of watch which is charged by light. There's a solar photovoltaic cell around the dial there, as you can see, which of course allows light in and charges the battery. So this isn't the type of thing where you're ever going to have to go ahead and change a battery. It also connects to atomic clock signal. So I believe this is a 6-band one, and you can go ahead and connect and it will automatically sync to have the right time. So basically what you're talking about is a watch that you never need to set, and you never really need to worry about power, assuming, of course, that you are going to go ahead and keep it in light. There's a battery indicator as well. You see right there it says battery, and it's pointing to M. M stands for medium, so there's a L, M, and H, so low, medium, and high in terms of for the battery life. So I guess so this one's on high. I guess this one needs to be in the light a little bit more, and that's good to know in terms of knowing sort of what the battery life is at. Now, what I've always loved about these, there's a lot of pushers on the case. There's actually 6 pushers on the case. This one in the center here is for the backlight, so you can see that it goes on there nicely. And you have the ability to have the auto backlight. So you basically push the light button down for a few seconds, and it turns on a mode that allows you, if you flick your wrist, like you turn it towards you like that, it automatically turns the light on, which is a nice feature that Casio's had in some of their nicer G-Shock and Pro Trek models for some time now. Let's go through the functionality, because it's a very useful watch. So the main screen, of course, you have the time, you have the seconds, and then you have a screen up here that you can change. So right now it says Saturday the 7th. I can change it to have the month versus day of the week, and then you have a graph, which is for barometric pressure. Okay, so that's that screen. That's like what I guess you could say the home screen. Now you have, and I love this feature, sunrise, sunset. So what you're able to do is you set the location of where you are. So you put in your reference city, and then you can adjust for sort of how high or low you are on the globe. And that allows the watch to know basically when your sunrise and sunset's going to be. So you have at the top there the date, and it says that, and there are little indicators there you can't tell. So this one pointing up says sunrise, and then the one pointing down is sunset. So at 6:46 a.m. the sun's going to rise, and at 4:43 p.m. the sun set. What's really cool that I like is you can actually adjust to see back and forth in the future. So you're using these pushers on the side, you can go back in time and see what it was a few days ago, or you can go ahead in time. I don't know how long ahead in time you can go, but you can go ahead in time. It makes a quick calculation, and then boom. So on December 16th, instead of sun rising at 6:44, it's be 6:52, and the sun's going to set at 4:45. I think that's a really cool feature to have. And again, the big joke about the sunrise sunset indicator is that it's great if you're if you're in a place worried about vampires, right? But if you're hiking or you're doing an outdoors activity and you want to know exactly when sunrise or sunset's going to be because you need light, that's a really handy feature to have. And you have to look online or anything like that. This is a recording feature, I believe, for certain of the logging settings. I've actually never used this, so I'm not really sure how it works, to be honest. Here you have a stopwatch. You have a countdown timer. You have multiple alarms that you can set. Here you have world time, so you basically can switch to the cities here to see the time all over the world. And here you have for the atomic control. And so what's interesting about this is that it shows you sort of the last time. So you can manually set it to receive, but it shows you the last time here that it's synced. I believe that I've been indoors, so it hasn't really worked that well, but it says at 3:04 p.m., I believe, on November 29th was the last time it received. So it tells you the last time you updated it. And for this screen, you can either manually sync with the signal, or you can go ahead and set it to manually or automatically receive it at any time. And then you get back to the home screen. Then, because it's a Pro Trek, you have the triple sensor technology. So right here, this isn't the pusher, this is the sensor. And this was a big part of the miniaturization because this was big, and they've had to sort of reduce the size. So in this one, on this older version, the sensor was right here, as you can tell, and it was a little bit more difficult to design a smaller watch. But now it's definitely smaller. So again, you have what they call the ABC technology. ABC stands for altimeter, barometer, and compass, and then you use these pushers on the side here to go ahead and cycle through those functions. So compass, you have that. You can turn the watch there, and it'll tell you the direction the watch is pointing in, and then right here is sort of the compass needle. Then you have barometer, which tells you barometric pressure, and down here you have temperature. Now the temperature says 82 degrees because I've been handling the watch. In order to get a good reading of the temperature, you need to let the watch sit down for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then take a reading. And then you have altimeter, which is pretty self-explanatory, which is your altitude, and there's also a graphing function to see if you have been ascending or descending. And that's it, you know. I mean, just all those features. In terms of style, again, this is a much more diminutive and elegantly designed Pro Trek model. It's still, of course, very, very technical and cool looking, but you definitely have something that is ultimately going to be more wearable. And I like a lot of the detailing. I like the large pushers there. You can just feel them. You don't have to hunt for them. Like this model, for example, I thought was great, but for me, the pushers were a little bit harder to sort of feel in the dark. And here, I'm used to having the light button be very large, and there's two buttons. There's a light and the adjust one, because this over here was for the sensor. So that was just that was a quirk of the PAW collection. I think the PRW takes it back to what you're used to, where you have two pushers on the side here, three here, and one here. The PRW3000 is a really great Pro Trek. If you've never had one, this is definitely a great place to start. If you have a bunch of Pro Treks, like many people do you need to get one of these? Again, Casio hasn't really added new functionality that hasn't existed before, but it's definitely going to be in a smaller package. Price is not too high, so if you're looking to add one that's a little bit smaller, more wearable, great. If you're looking for new and exciting features, there's not too much here. There's just a lot of the same to love. Price on this plastic strap here is retails for $300, and on the titanium bracelet, it's more. I believe it's about $425, and these are available in a lot of places, and just a really great new Pro Trek watch for 2013. And you can see the full review on aBlogtoWatch soon. Thanks.